Good morning. Merry Christmas. Today we're going to start with a daily reflection on the Old Testament. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Haggai 1:7. The prophet Haggai admonition to the people of his day to consider their ways relative to the rebuilding of the temple also applies to our day. Do we give of our time and resources to build the kingdom? Do we regularly attend the temple and pay our tithes and offerings so that temples can be built in greater number across the earth? Do we manifest the pure love of Christ in our thoughts and deeds? We need to look into our hearts, examine ourselves, whether we be in the faith as Paul counseled, to see how we stand with the Lord and the things of everlasting worth. The Lord will not bless us if we do not heed his commands. Now is the time to consider your ways, to ponder deeply the purposes of life and God's plan for you, to take action on the things you may need to change. Consider your ways. I suppose that's very appropriate for today, for Christmas Day. All right, so what is happening here? Today is light. We were talking about how Christ is the light. One of his names is light. So we're going to start in Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? This one just very reminiscent of a child with a nightlight. You know, Mason has two in his room. It cannot be darker than that. He will freak. But if Christ is our light, then what do we have to be afraid of? If we can see all things through him, then what is there to fear? Then we go over to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 2. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. I suppose this is those who never knew Christ or ever had a testimony of him. When they hear Christ or hear his gospel or gain a testimony of him, it is as if a great light has been shined in their life. And then we go over to Isaiah 60, verse 19. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory. I think we talked about this when we talked about Isaiah. I don't remember what I said, but I think it was sufficient enough. So, what is it? You shall not live by bread alone, but from every word that proceedeth forth from the mouth of Christ. It feels just like he is greater than the sun. The knowledge that he will give you, the confidence, the hope, the strength that Christ can give you is greater than the power of the sun. I don't know. Then we go over to Micah. Did I go to Micah? Yeah, Micah chapter 7, verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall rise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. Again, just the hope, the strength that is in the Lord, the confidence that is in him to give light and understanding. Where there is light, darkness has to flee. Where there is Christ, Satan has to flee. And then the last one is John chapter 8, verse 12. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. This is, I mean, it's all the same thing. It's all the same concept. I think the most important thing to take away is that where there is light, darkness cannot stay. That is an irrefutable law. That is an eternal law. And where there is Christ, Satan has to flee. So if Christ is in your heart, if Christ is in your life, there's no room for Satan. All right, I will now leave you with a prayer from a diary of prayer. This is Christmas Day, and this prayer is by Gerald Manley Hopkins. Moonless darkness stands between. Past, oh past, no more be seen. But the Bethlehem star may lead me to the sight of him who freed me. Excuse me, I'm very sorry. From the self that I have been, make me pure, Lord, thou art holy. Make me meek, Lord, thou art lowly. Now beginning and alway, now begin on Christmas Day. I wonder if I should try that again. Moonless darkness stands between. Past, oh past, no more be seen. But the Bethlehem star may lead me to the sight of him who freed me. From the self that I have been, make me pure, Lord, thou art holy. Make me meek, Lord, thou wert lowly. Now beginning and alway, now begin on Christmas Day. Like, the beginning part of that was going really good, and then it got a little choppy there at the end. But it was a good one. I liked it. Okay, so that was light. And now we're done. We're done with the Old Testament. We're done with 2022 study of Come Follow Me. We're done. I think I'm going to make a separate video talking about what we're doing next year. But yeah, I'll make a separate video talking about what we're going to do next year. So, that was a great year. That was a great Come Follow Me. The Old Testament, that was my first time studying the Old Testament, reading in the Old Testament. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And now it's the New Testament, which gives me a little bit of pause. But anyways, Merry Christmas. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me for this early morning study. I appreciate it so much. And thank you for those of you on YouTube who leave nice comments. I appreciate those as well. All right. See you later.